Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for this week's Astro Weather Forecast. I'm Pix. This is for the week of Monday, October 31st, Halloween, through Sunday, November 6th. And this week we are mid-eclipses, so things might feel a bit up in the air, or you may feel in the dark about something or confused in a certain area of your life. This is the time to surrender and let go. Here are 3 themes to watch for this week. Number 1. Exhaustion and an excuse to rest as much as possible. Number 2, needing to let go of something. Number 3, feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place somewhere in your life. Overall, it's a good week to go with the flow and to do the bare minimum as much as possible. I recommend you give yourself permission to relax as much as you can this week, to not have all the answers, and to focus on self-care. I release weekly personalized rising sign horoscopes every Sunday for my patrons along with this forecast. So if you're interested in learning more about your horoscopes for the week, check the Patreon link in the description. So, the astrology weather this week is fairly quiet, though it won't be the easiest, honestly, especially for Venus-ruled people, that's Libra and Taurus. We can expect some tension in relationships and with creativity and projects this week. We're halfway between eclipses, as mentioned earlier, which feels a bit like the week between Christmas and New Year's. There's like a weird liminal space that we're entering for this week. Venus will be conjoining the South Node for the first half of the week. The South Node is like a vacuum. It's like a void. It sucks everything up into its void, and good or bad, taking away things to never be seen again. So it can take away bad things that you don't want anymore, and it can take away good things. The South Node just takes things away. There's no fighting the South Node. So the South Node is basically operating with fate and destiny or divine intervention. Like the Hanged Man tarot card, the only course of action when you're dealing with the nodes, especially the South Node, is to surrender. So I keep bringing up, this week, let's chill. Let's surrender, let's let go of things, and embrace the other realm. Embrace spirituality. Embrace the world that you can't see. Have some faith in the invisible and just go with the flow on some level, at least, as much as you can. So let's start on Monday, October 31st. The moon enters Aquarius, which is perfect for Halloween, in my opinion. Aquarius moons can lighten the mood quite a bit from a Capricorn moon, and it allows you to step back and see a little bit bigger of a picture, a little bit lighter. The moon is handed its Halloween costume when it enters Aquarius, some research goggles and a lab coat, and maybe it starts to figure some things out for the next 2 days, whether or not it's relevant to the problem at hand, researching and analyzing, and that can dissociate you just enough to keep you busy, but not feel too heavy or too burdened. But things can get a little bit more emotional or bring up opportunities for you to connect deeper with your emotions after Wednesday, November 2nd, which is when the moon enters Pisces. And that will push you to connect more with your emotions and with your spirit. A good opportunity can arise to help you let go or to escape into something that makes you feel safe and comfortable. So magic, connecting, wisdom, spirituality can all be a little bit more accessible. And Venus finishes its conjunction with the South Node at 13 degrees Scorpio on Wednesday as well, which brings outages, as the South Node does, around Venus themes, such as love, relationships, resources, beauty, harmony. Some outages with the South Node there, but that's for the first half of the week. But divine interventions may come through with partnerships or with money, and it's not a good time to do anything with your looks or your style if you can help it. Energy will be low for most of us, but extremely low for the Taurus risings and the Libra risings this week. Your ruling planet is conjoining the South Node, which just kind of takes all the vitality out of it, but allows for lots of spirituality, like I said, trusting in the invisible. And this week will go smoothest if you're open to surrendering any topics that are bringing you trouble to the universe. It's okay to let go this week and let the universe take the wheel. The second half of the week is the active half and further implies more letting go themes for all of us over the weekend. On Friday, November 4th, the moon enters Aries, and any wet blankets that manifested during the Pisces moon will begin to dry, and you can expect a perspective shift and a fresh start on maybe into warrior mode on some level. But still, even with warrior mode, energy is low during the end of the week. We have the South Node week, especially for Leo rising, because the sun conjoins the South Node at 13 degrees Scorpio until Saturday, November 5th. So for Leo risings, and for most of us with the sun conjoining the South Node, we can expect more outages, confusion, darkness around your path, and maybe your identity expected a little bit. Needing to let go of a plan is very possible this week. Divine intervention is likely. Again, surrender and let go where you can. All this South Node energy is making space for what will work in divine timing. And at the same time, during the second half of the week, Venus in Scorpio opposes Uranus at 17 degrees Taurus, which indicates big breakthrough energy. But sometimes we have to break down in order to break through. I know, gross, right? You will most likely see weird things happening with technology, like your phone might be acting up, your computer, whatever programs you're working with, cars, commuting, transportation, during the second half of the week might be a little bit wonky. Generally nothing too terrible, but it is worth mentioning the random electrical gremlins that we might be noticing. So other things to look out for this weekend and the end of the week: unique and out-of-the-box, non-traditional relationship styles or forms of expression or creativity could come up. Feeling different about a relationship could come up. Trying something new with art will be rewarded. Changing things to be more authentic and true to yourself are definitely supported and encouraged. And maybe some of this is surprising or unexpected to you or to other people in your life. Uranus brings up opportunities for you to discover your most authentic form and free you of your limits, whether you realize you need to be freed or not. Freeing you of limiting beliefs and pushing you out of codependency and into interdependence and individuation. Individuation, one of my favorite things that I learned during my Saturn return. Maybe I'm late to the party, but individuation is the process of separating your identity from perspectives from your parents, from your family, from your community. It separates you from groupthink. It makes you, individuation has you come out of what you were taught and into what you know and what you believe. Interdependence is the healthy version of codependence. So where codependence is toxic and unhealthy, like if I'm not happy, you're not happy, or if you're not happy, I'm not happy, interdependence recognizes that we cannot be fully independent. As humans, it is natural for us to depend on each other and to have community in certain ways, but it does imply that you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of someone else. So don't lose yourself in someone else or lose yourself in your family. Venus opposing Uranus will point to all of these types of topics and allow for breakthroughs with relationships and with creativity and art. And after Saturday, November 5th, Venus will finish its opposition with Uranus. And then on Sunday, November 6th, Mercury conjoins the South Node at 13 degrees Scorpio, and this is a third indication of low energy and needing to let go of some things, this time for the Gemini and Virgo risings. Mercury conjoining the South Node indicates low energy or loss around technology, some forms of communication, commuting, travel. All of these topics are common. Again, Gemini risings and Virgo risings will need more rest than usual over the weekend. And the moon enters its exaltation of Taurus on Sunday night, which will feel like a breath of fresh air for the moon-ruled folks or people with strong Cancer placements. The exalted moon has the potential to help you harness self-care, to show you a comfortable time, to encourage you to indulge in delicious food and indulge in all of your physical senses. Cuddle with your pet with a soft blanket, watch your favorite guilty pleasure shows or movies. Again, the physical senses strengthen and comfort and security become more of a priority. Eating yummy food, working on hobbies you enjoy specifically, or relishing in rest are all supported when the moon enters Taurus on Sunday. But we're not in the clear. We're not out of the woods yet. The last vibe to discuss for the second half of this week is due to Venus in Scorpio squaring Saturn at 18 degrees Aquarius until Sunday night. So Venus square Saturn brings in reality check energy, as well as maybe feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place on some plane of your life. An issue comes up that will allow for a new level of clarity in your relationships, making you see things how they are, see what's really going on between you and somebody else. And this can be any type of relationship, romantic relationship, friendly, familial, any form. You may be having to negotiate agreements again, clarify some expectations maybe, and really get clear on what is and what isn't working in this relationship. It's not about blame, it's just about seeing it for what it is. As one of my favorite teachers, Kelly Surtees, says for Venus Saturn, it can be about pleasure denied or pleasure delayed. It's about the work you put in before the reward or before the enjoyment. Putting in effort to keep a commitment to someone else or to show your loyalty is possible. And again, this aspect is not easy, but it is important. Saturn, like we all know, is about necessary things, the basics, the core principles of things, and your straightforward priorities. And this is a square aspect. So making a choice is an important part of square aspects. So with Venus squaring Saturn, it's important to choose in a way that authentically honors who you are and what you value and what you want to prioritize. And so you may have to make a choice that you're well aware will have consequences of some kind that will ripple through your life. We know this choice will affect the future in some way with Saturn involved, and it can be tough, but a necessary choice. As I said earlier, this choice can leave you feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place, between the hard place of duty and the rock of desire. And we may not get everything that we want during this transit, but we will get all the clarity we need about alliances and relationships and our truest priorities and desires. So people with planets or points around 18 degrees of the fixed signs, that's Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, will be noticing this tension the most. And that's what's up for this week's forecast. Are you expecting anything to come up? Let me know in the comments. If you want to join a cool occult community full of chronically online mystics, you can join the 9th House Discord server community. The link to join is in the description. And again, I released personalized rising sign horoscopes every Sunday for my patrons. So if you're interested in learning more about joining the Patreon, you can go ahead and check the link in the description. I'm endlessly thankful for your support and for you being here. Thank you so much. Comment below if you have any questions or need any clarification. I love reading your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.